Listen, he has family in the Florida area and need a visa for go see them, right? So that's what I'm saying. Where you're bound, you must obey. Because when he's talking to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he knows that this man has the power to just cancel his visa and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the things that the State Department could do to him. You know that. So he must be respectful, he must be very careful when he talk to them people. But when him come out to Jamaica, and part of it is because when they ask him questions that give him an out. And
Yeah.
and when him see an opening, him start show up on the top of his voice and run through it. Well,
Yeah.
listen, not telling the people, not telling them. If him give me a chance, forgive him. If him give me,
I mean, in my respect for the Jamaican people, you can talk to them and then you want to shout at them and lie to them and steal from them and all that stuff.
all right. You know, I always show the example of the South African Parliament because I just admire the way them guys and the American Congress too, how them ask questions of responsible people. Right?
Yeah.
I love the way them ask questions, but by no means, people, should you believe that what I'm saying is that Jamaica don't have people who can ask them questions. What I'm saying is that Jamaica doesn't have enough of those people asking the questions. So what I'm saying, we have them in Jamaica, you know, but they're not asking the questions. No, I'm going to play you a clip. I'm glad you come on, Bim. I'm glad you come on. Stay with me up on the line because I'm going to play this clip and I'm going to show you how a Jamaican politician, right?
Yeah.
Drape up a responsible person. And what I want you to watch, it's a small clip, but what I want you to watch carefully the body language, and then we're going to talk after. Here it is.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Here we go.
Aid. Can you remind me of the number of packages that the government has distributed to this point?
I think it was 116,000.
15,000. It was indicated too that partners would have been distributing. Do you have information about that number from the partners?
Not in my notes here, but I can indicate, for example, that the World Food Kitchen was one of our stronger partners. To date, they have done just 1.3 million hot meals into various communities.
Right, but that's not packages. That would have been
that's hot meals.
Right. So they will give a daily distribution of hot meals. So if we work with the 116, you also indicated that you estimate that each package would serve about 4 people.
Yes, for 4 days.
For 4 days.
Yeah.
So with about 20 days gone, then we should have had about 5 rotations.
That is ideal.
That is ideal. So with this number, which would have indicated that if it was serving a family of 4, then at best, each family would have received 1/5 of the time, or 1/5 of the families would have received enough times. Which one is the more likely circumstance?
Repeat this for my clarity.
All right. So for the 5 periods that would have existed since the hurricane, you have distributed enough food for 1 per family. So if it is 1 per family, then they would have received 1/5 of the times that you desired. Or was it that 1/5 of the family received enough rotations?
The reality of it might be a mix of the two.
Sorry.
Because we have been back into locations to issue products.
So in that case, therefore, there would be some persons that would have been in a rotation, indicating that there might be quite a bit of persons that have not been touched by government.
The possibility could exist.
How quickly could we get that information so that we can cauterize and immediately solve that situation?
We could see to work on it just to complete this week.
And economist, expert,
People, want to talk to me. Bim, talk to me. Well, first of all, on notice the body language. Oh yeah, all right. Ilya noticed it, right? You notice when the conversation started, it was relaxed. You never see him hands. And as the questions got tougher and more revealing of his ignorance, you see him start to this. And then there were some pregnant pauses. He can't answer, but for him, he was answering. No, one of the first things he said to Damien was, when Damien asked him about the number of care packages issued, he said, I think it was. I think. No, we don't know. We don't want to know what you think. This is not a question asking about what are your thoughts. This is a question asking you for a number, to confirm a number. And if you are in charge of, let me call it Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, and remember now, they removed Richard Thompson from that job and gave it to you because them say they want it to be seamless and they want to be collaboration and cooperation across government. And you are the fittest person in Jamaica to do that because you have big degrees and you have enough experience. Well, one of the things you must have when you come to the table like this, you must have accurate numbers. You must have your numbers. So when the first thing he said was, I think it was, and if I were there, and if you notice how Damien did it, beautiful, beautiful, didn't raise his voice. You see, when you know the facts, when you know the answers, you don't have to scream. You don't have to do that. And he never did. Him just ask him as a matter of fact the questions. But I would have jumped on him when he said, I think. And I said, what do you mean? Do you know the number or you don't know the number? Because if you tell me, say you know the number, then tell me. If you say you don't know it, then what are you doing in front of us? Because you're in charge of this. You're supposed to be coordinating across government. So you and your staff are supposed to compile all the numbers. So when you come in front of the politicians to explain to the politicians and the country what you're doing, you're supposed to give them accurate numbers. Now, if you notice, what he said? He talked about this food, this group that served 1.3 million. You notice he didn't say, I think it's 1.3 million. He said 1.3 and jump on the number there. Because they fed him that number and him thumb suck it. And so him come and him can just say 1.3 million. And people say, wow. But then when they say, well, how about the care packages? I think, I'm not sure, maybe. I have to go find out. So then he talked about the possibility of certain things. And you could tell that this man is drowning. This man is drowning. And this is the person that our prime minister said is the person who he has the confidence in to run this organization, take it over and run it. And he's going to collaborate with cross government and that he's the fittest person. And he has all this experience and all of this. Come on, people. Come on. Big up yourself, Damien. Yeah. And you see how the man look uncomfortable when the question them start hit him. When the question them start jack him up. People, look, it's a shot. Play it again. It's worth. When I saw this, I said, yes. Yes. Wish we had more people in like Damien asking the questions because believe me, Jamaicans are very resourceful, very bright, very intelligent people. Sadly, we are fearful, especially some of the journalists in Jamaica, some of the politicians. We're fearful and we don't have that spirit, that energy. We don't have the courage. And as a result, we don't have the wherewithal to ask the tough questions. But here's one politician who asked the tough questions.
Aid. Can you remind me of the number of packages that the government has distributed to this point?
I think it was 116,000.
15,000. It was indicated too that partners would have been distributing. Do you have information about that number from the partners?
Not in my notes here, but I can indicate.
Not in my notes here. People, this man is in charge of he's in charge for distribution of packages coming from the government side, and also from international partners giving, those numbers are readily available. You can go on the US government, the State Department website, and they'll tell you how many packages they gave out in Jamaica. Because they have videos and they have statements. They have all of this. They have all of this. And him no know, not in my notes now. So I go and ask him, where are your notes? Where are your notes? What you sit down here, so you come here and you look, this is not a surprise visit, this is a planting. You know you're coming here to answer questions about your responses to the disaster in Jamaica and the steps you're taking to resolve it and comfort and assist and take care of the people. So you're supposed to come with answers, as OT said. You're supposed to come with answers. But him come and say, it's not in my notes. Then would have said to him, say, yeah, well, man, you waste your time, You waste your time. When you have things in your notes, I would have run him. I said to him, say, do me a favor, please. In order not to further embarrass you, please leave. Come back with a full package. Come back with everything. Come back with, I'd tell him, say, these are the things we want to know. Come back. Here we go.
For example, that the World Food Kitchen was one of our stronger partners. To date, they've done just 1.3 million hot meals into various communities.
Right, but that's not packages. That would have been
Just hot meals.
right. So they were
There's another deflection. The man ask him about packages, him a tell him about hot meal. Everybody and their mother know that a hot meal is not a care package. A hot meal is where you stomp in a line, them give you food, you eat it. That's it. Care package is something different. It's a bag with food products in it. You have to go prepare for yourself. It's not prepared. Everybody knows this. And them try to deflect now and go over there and talk about 1.3 million hot meals. Nobody not talk about hot meals. I would have said to him, say, look, it look like I ask you the wrong question and you get the right answer, or I ask the right question and you get the wrong answer, because I never ask you about hot meals. I will get to hot meals, but I'm not there yet.
will give a daily distribution.
Stay informed. Question authority. Debate strengthens democracy and accountability.